yes, once again, I will be the first male boxer to actually capture the welterweight champion in 2 divisions, and that would solidify me as the greatest fighter of this era.
Definitely not, man. I'm not gonna lie, Tyrann got the best matchmakers in the business. You ain't fought nobody, man. You haven't beat anybody undisputed at 140. Who you fought at 135, and who you fought at 147. Even you fought Sean Porter. Even Sean Porter said,
"What did I do to Sean Porter that you couldn't
Sean
do?"
Porter said he did not train like he should. He didn't do the things that his daddy told him to do. What are you talking about? Even his daddy said it. Even his daddy said it.
You butthurt that I got the
Even his daddy said it.
You butthurt.
Even Kell Brook, he was already broken.
So was he broken when you fought him?
No, he wasn't broken.
How come
I broke the other eye?
He came off of.
I broke the other eye. Yeah, that's how I got broke. That's how I got broke.
He came off a stoppage.
What does it matter?
He came off a stoppage, and then he fought you months.
What does it matter?
Months prior.
What does it matter?
So was he broken or not?
No, he wasn't broken. No, he wasn't broken.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
What are you talking about? I had the same surgery he had, and what happened? So what they say about you then? You fight me then?
I'm gonna break the other eye.
So what they say? So I'm broken then, right?
Well, you broken. You gonna be broken July 29th.
Yeah, we gonna see.
You gonna be broken.
So
0.5.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Hey, stop that cab. Errol Spence destroys Terence Bud Crawford's resume. PBC, they had both fighters sit down and run a poll. And in that poll, they were to assess the other person in different metrics. Errol Spence gave Terence Crawford a very low score, especially when it came to the resume. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. The best in the business is back. I'll make it look good. I made boxing look pretty. Subscribe to the channel. Now, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford, July 29th. I can't wait. Judgment Day is among us. I thought this was a really cool promotional piece from PBC. And before I get too deep into the video, here's the thing. I like the promo piece and the idea of what PBC implemented here. And to think that Terence Crawford has always seemingly viewed PBC as the ops, as the enemy. And it's so funny to me because by far, this is the best promotion that we've ever seen for a Terence Crawford fight. If you disagree, then you don't know about boxing. Name a fight where Terence Crawford was better promoted than this particular fight. Now, I give credit to Terence Crawford. He is doing some of the promotion himself, but I'm talking about polls like this, the way the press tour was set up. They did a 2-city press tour. When he was with Top Rank, name a time where he did a 2-city press tour and it got the attention and garnered the attention. So it's funny to see Team Crawford seemingly act like Al Heyman and PBC were the ops and the enemy. And I had to, before I start, I had to make that point because I really like this promotional piece and I like the promotion. Both Errol Spence, he was on $1 million worth of game. He did the press tour. He's posting updated pictures. Ego Weight Watchers, I got videos of that. Terence Crawford, he's on a great run. He's talked to Sway in the morning, right? He's been on Breakfast Club. And this fight, he was also on $1 million a game. This fight is being promoted very well. Now, PBC put out this piece and they were asking Errol Spence and Terence Crawford to assess the other person's, basically these different categories. The categories are footwork, defense, power, speed, punch resistance, conditioning, ring IQ, and resume. And Errol Spence rated Crawford a total, when you add up all the metrics, of 5.4. Terence Crawford rated Errol Spence in those metrics at 7.0. Wow. So basically, Errol Spence, some of the points that were argued, he really wasn't impressed with Terence Crawford. Now, the one that stands out that I want to focus on in this video, because if you guys want me to do, I do what the fans want me to do. If y'all want me to go through this list and make additional videos, let me know. But in this video, we're going to focus on really the lowest metric that Errol Spence gave Crawford was resume. And he gave him, in terms of resume, a 0.5, a half a point. He didn't even give him a full point, like 1. He gave him a 0.5. So that goes to show you Errol Spence ain't, hey, start that cat. Yeah, I definitely believe I got the stronger resume. Definitely. So he doesn't think that Terence Crawford's resume is strong. I mean, he didn't even give him a point, y'all. So he didn't give him $1. He gave him 50 cents. That's crazy. Like, he couldn't even give him a full $1. Wow. Now, I'll leave it to you guys in the comment section to argue if that's a fair rating. Some people said that was like slanderous and low. Some people agree with it. I will say this. I don't know exactly, like if I was me, I wouldn't give him a 0.5 because that's like, I don't know. I think that's like you really trying to make the point. But that being said, he has the worst resume out of the two. There's no way to, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to beat around the bush, especially at welterweight. When you look at the guys he fought, Terence Crawford, you look at the status of those fighters, who they were at the time, he definitely has the resume that is lacking. So whether you give it a 0.5 or 4 or 5, average, whatever, he has the worst of the two resume. And I dare somebody in the comment section to try to argue that point. You're going to look crazy. Like, and even beyond welterweight, the welterweight division, if we're really being honest, in Top Rank, they got great matchmakers. They got great, and I've always told you about this, clever matchmaking. When they're grooming a guy, there's certain foes. And if you think about it, name somebody that you really thought was capable of beating Terence Crawford at the time he fought them. Honestly, let's look through the list. Like, who did you really think had a shot? Because when Errol Spence fought against Sean Porter, some people were saying Sean Porter was too rough. When Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia, there were true, and I got the comments to prove it. Please don't make me go in the crates. Errol Spence, at the time, I've been a channel for many moons, many years now. When Mikey Garcia was an opponent, people now, after Mikey got whooped, they say like, oh, we all knew Errol's gonna win. That is false. There were plenty of people that were just like Mikey Garcia, and they were on some, I see something. They seen something. And they were saying Mikey was more technical and he's a better boxer. Mikey's gonna outpoint him. Some people probably even picked Mikey by stoppage, thought he was the way better boxer. Mikey was posting pictures flexing like Roger the Kangaroo, and he was with Snack. So people were like, yeah, Mikey, this and that. So people oftentimes do this in the world of boxing. I remember with Mayweather and Canelo. When Mayweather fought Canelo at the time, there were, not me, but there were people who thought that Canelo would beat Mayweather. Too big, too young, too strong. And ironically, when he got spanked by a black fighter, Floyd Mayweather, then all the excuses came out. Canelo was too young, he was too green, too much inexperience, he's too flat foot. Now you want to say this, but in going into the fight, there were people picking him. I could do this all day. Bermaine Stavern versus Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Oh my God, to this day, right? When Wilder was fighting Stavern in the first fight, there were many people picking Stavern, and that was considered a competitive fight and a fight that, because Wilder to that point hadn't fought no one like a Stavern, and he wasn't a champion. So that was his fight stepping in versus a champion who had beaten Chris Arreola and I think broke his nose or jaw, something like that. And Wilder was a challenger. So you got to look at these fights when they occurred. And Mikey, Ugas, I remember people saying Ugas is so big and look at his bicep next to Errol Spence's. Errol Spence's weight drain, and then Errol Spence turned him into a Cyclops. That is not really the case for Terence Crawford. Name some of Derry Jean. Did anyone think Derry Jean was going to beat Terence Crawford? Ricky Burns? Did anybody think Ricky Burns, like outside of some Scottish fans or, you know what I mean? Like the UK maybe, I don't know anyone that was picking Ricky Burns. I don't know anyone who was picking John Molina Jr. to defeat Terence Crawford. You know? So Crawford says his toughest fights were Mean Machine and Gamboa. Again, two guys, he had a big size advantage over Gamboa. And he said that's his toughest fight. Mean Machine. Mean Machine was coming off a bad performance and he really dropped Crawford. So Errol's pretty dead on in terms of like ranking his resume lower. Now, I think what would have been a great spin on this is if PBC had thought to have the fighters rate the other person in these metrics and then rate themselves, because I would be really curious to see how Crawford would have ranked his resume, because the way Crawford comes across, he says I'm undisputed and he's very confident that he's the goods. And I think Crawford would have ranked his resume very high because he keeps talking about how he was undisputed. But line for line, bar for bar, Errol Spence has a better resume despite only being in one division. And a lot of, listen, I'm the best in the business. You just got to deal with that. When it comes to everybody who makes the point that Terence Crawford moved up in weight, credit to him. He did do those. He moved up in different weight classes. You give credit to that. However, that can't be the whole baseline of your argument when in one division, one person's resume is more complete than a person in 3 divisions. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I've always been of the credo of quality over quantity. So would you rather a person moved up 3 divisions or a person stayed in one division, but they stayed in the stacked glamour division and beat the bigger formidable foes and better people, right? 3 divisions, that's cool. That's, you know, not everyone can do that. But at the same time, Errol in one division stayed true to one division and amassed more competitive fights like Lamont Peterson, Kell Brook, Mikey Garcia. No one really thought Thomas Delorme would beat Crawford, John Molina, Julius Ndongo. People barely even knew who the John Ndingo or whatever his name is, Julius Dongo, was. They didn't even really know him. Like, no one was really checking for Troy Novsky, the guy he knocked out to get the belt or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no matter how you slice it, his resume is not better, period. If you want to argue in the comment section, because I'm out. Attention, all YouTube content creators. If you follow my channel, you'll know I use TubeBuddy. Take your channel to the next level with TubeBuddy, which is the ultimate tool for your YouTube success. Unlock a world of possibilities, grow your channel, increase your views, and maximize your earnings. Cha-ching! TubeBuddy features powerful keyword research, video optimization, and so much more. TubeBuddy got your back. But wait, there's more. I got a coupon code for you guys, 25% off until June 30th. If you click my link in the description and enter the code 25buddy, I will give you 25% off TubeBuddy to get your YouTube channel jumping. Click my link in the description, enjoy the coupon code, and happy creation.